Hi guys, this is CY from Duet Dance Studio. Today I'm going to talk about ballroom dance shoes. I get asked a lot about ballroom dance shoes, such as how are they supposed to fit, what are the heel heights, what are the styles for. So today I'm going to go over the top 5 questions about ballroom dance shoes. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our channel for more useful tips. Now let's get started. Question number 1. What are the differences between ballroom dance shoes and street shoes? So the number one biggest difference is that the soles of dance shoes are made of suede leather, which gives you just the right amount of traction but also allows you to move across the dance floor freely and turn really nicely. For street shoes, a lot of times the soles of street shoes are made of hard leather, which could be stiff. Especially if you have to articulate your foot in those shoes, it makes it really difficult. Or they're made of rubber, which could be sticky when you have to, move across the floor, or when you have to turn. It makes it, more difficult than dance shoes. Another thing is dance shoes are much lighter, so you can wear them for a long period of time and dance in them comfortably. And also street shoes are much more flexible. Like these shoes right here, you can pretty much bend them like this, so you can really point your foot in them and you can feel the dance floor better and really utilizing your shoe to a fullest. Question number 2. Should I start with the open-toe shoes or closed-toe shoes? Now this question is for women, and it really depends on the styles that you're working on. So typically, closed-toe shoes are for smooth dances such as foxtrot and waltz. Open-toe shoes are for Latin styles such as salsa, rumba, cha-cha, merengue, bachata, and also rhythm dances such as swing. And of course, there are all these fun styles for Lindy Hop and Argentinian tango. But for beginners, I would suggest starting off with the open-toe shoes, because you can pretty much do all the styles in open-toe shoes. But with open-toe shoes, you can learn to point your foot better, you can feel the floor better, and also develop better techniques from the get-go. So when you get maybe more involved with dancing, you can get both styles. That way you have different styles for different dances. I've also included some links to dance shoes in the description. Feel free to check them out. Question number 3. What is a good heel height to start with? So for women, I would suggest starting off with the 2 inches or 2.5 inches. Because the higher the heel, the more pressure you put on the balls of your feet, which can cause pain while you dance in them for a long period of time. So, when you first start it's better to start with something a little bit more comfortable, and then as you get, more advanced in your dancing, you can ease into the higher heels. For men, you have a much easier choice to make because there are only 2 options. One is the 1/2 inch smooth dance shoes, which is like this guy here. The second option is the 2 inch Cuban heel, like this. Okay. Now, so for beginners, I would suggest starting off with the 1/2 inch smooth shoes because you can dance any styles in those. With the Cuban heel, because it's lifting you off the ground more, so more weight is put on the front of your foot, and it makes it a little harder to execute some of the moves in smooth dances. So definitely start with the smooth shoes and then go from there. So one more note for women: when you are looking for dance shoes, look for something called the flare heel. This will give you more stability, so it's much easier, especially for beginners, to start with. Question number 4. How do I know if the fit is right? Dance shoes are supposed to fit like gloves. So when you first try them on, they should feel snug and maybe slightly uncomfortable. Of course, you don't want them to feel so uncomfortable that you can't dance in them, but they should feel really snug. For myself, I always go down a 1/2 size smaller for my dance shoes because I know that once I break them in, they're gonna get stretched out. And once they get stretched out, I start to lose control of the shoe. So if the shoes are too big to start with or too roomy in the beginning, they're just gonna get even roomier after you break them in, and then you're just gonna lose control in them. You can't really use the shoes fully. Pretty much like you're swimming in the shoes instead of like you controlling the shoes. So definitely start with something snug. Once you break them in, they're gonna start mold to your feet, and you'll feel much more comfortable as you go. And at that time, you can still point your foot really nicely in those, and you can feel the floor nicely and have full control of your shoes. And that's what we want for your dance shoes. So if you are going to a dance store to try on shoes, that's a great idea because you can try different styles, different sizes to make sure you find the right fit for you. But if you're going online to find shoes, it's good to order maybe 2 to 3 sizes and try them on, dance in them a little bit to find the right size for you. Make sure they are snug, and that's the key. Question number 5. How long does a pair of dance shoes last, and how do I make my dance shoes last longer? So this is a great question. The lifespan of a pair of dance shoes really depends on how often you dance and the quality of the dance shoes. Let's say you have a pair of dance shoes that costed you $100. You dance once a week in them. They should last fairly long. I would say maybe 2 to 3 years if you take really good care of them. But for people who dance maybe 5 times a week in them and you only have one pair of shoes, they probably won't last too long because they get stretched out so much that you're losing the control of the shoes. And also the suede probably it's getting a little bit more worn out and you need replacement for the suede leather. So now how do we make our dance shoes last longer? Now, number one thing that kills any dance shoes is moisture or sweat. So after each dance class, make sure to take your dance shoes out and let them dry out properly. And that will definitely lengthen the life of your shoes. And if you are committed to your dancing, I would suggest getting 2 pairs of dance shoes so that you can rotate them around and make sure that they get proper time to dry out, and that way your shoes can last much longer. I would also recommend getting some shoe trees to put inside your shoes. Those will help absorb moisture and keeping your shoes fresh and clean. For women's shoes, I also recommend getting heel protectors for your heels. And make sure to get this wire shoe brush for the suede leather of your shoes. Because after a few times of dancing in your shoes, you'll notice the suede leather, the suede bottom gets smoothened out so much that you're losing the grip to the dance floor. So that's the time when you need to use the shoe brush to kind of scrub off the bottom of the shoes, and so that you're restoring the roughness of the shoes. One final note, never walk your dance shoes out on the streets. Dance shoes are very delicate, and the soles of the dance shoes are not meant for wet surfaces or hard surfaces. So make sure to keep your dance shoes on the dance floor. I know some companies are making street dance shoes, so for those of you who go out dancing a lot, check out those options. I'll try to include some links in the description below as well. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave us a comment or let us know what you'd like us to do next. Happy dancing!